Welcome to another episode of The Life Coach TLC with Pastor Segun Olugbemi. And I know we've covered a lot of grounds since we started, but whatever you do, don't miss the opportunity of listening to previous episodes. I'm taking it very slowly and trying to see that we cover a lot of grounds. I don't know how long we're going to be doing this, but as long as God helps us and we have sponsors, we're going to continue to do this. I really want to liberate people. I want to help you change the way you think, and I want us to come back to the path of following God's principles, doing the will of God and doing the things that God has instructed us to do instead of just playing religion. And I think the last time I stopped, we have tried our best to put all this together on the YouTube. So you can go to my channel, Segun Olugbemi, and then you have opportunity to download the free materials over there and lots of videos and audios free. They're all free for you, for your viewing pleasure and enjoyment. You can download them with VidMate, and then you have listened to them at your private time in your car or everywhere. But we stop at the fact that you relate with God through your spirit, but you relate with His creation through principles, through laws that govern His creation. And I stop at saying that prayer and fasting have their place in our relationship with God, but when it comes to the boardroom, it is not a place for hallelujah. It's not a place for exchanging fasting and prayer programs. It's not a place for exchanging handbills or, discussing your last trip to Hajj or pilgrimage to Jerusalem. It's a place to discuss serious business. It's a place to put things in order, in perspective, and to work. And I was talking about the aberration that goes on in our nation, whereby we spend our time, and an average person comes to work. He's supposed to work from 8 to 4. And then he comes into work, sometimes many of them 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and then they begin their fellowship or whatever, and they pray till 10 o'clock before work begins. And you can walk to almost any federal government parastatal in this city called Abuja, and you're not going to see people at work until after 10. People come in and then you just malingering, just rigmaroling, and people are not really working. And this one come, and Fridays, everybody is gone to mosque, and this one is all closed and all that. And on top of that, these are the guys that are all falsifying receipt, inflating contracts, and we're fasting and praying. January to March, we're doing fasting and prayer, and we're doing everything, and yet there's no life, no truth, no godliness, no simple adherence to principles. So I said, you have to find out what are the laws that govern God's creation. If you want to do anything, find out the laws. Paul says something in Romans chapter 7 verse 21. I find then a law that evil is present with me. The one who wills to do good. A man who wants to do good finds evil present. He has to find out, why is it that I could not do good instead of doing evil? And at the end of the day, he found that he was succumbing to a law. That's the law of the flesh. He dictated the law behind his struggle with the flesh. And then he found the law to overcome it by the law of the Spirit of life in Christ. Creation is not to cooperate with the law of chance. Creation does not respond to the law of chance and happenstance. It requires knowing and identifying how things work and working them. Therefore, look for the laws that govern, what you want to achieve in life, and you will get it. You'll be able to cooperate if you are able to cooperate with the law. For instance, look at the law of successful marriage. Have you ever thought about that? A lot of people think good marriages are luck. I've been privileged to marry for about 30-something years. And in almost 34 years, I know it's hard work. I know it took me a lot of dying, a lot of giving up a lot of things. There are laws. For instance, the law of living and cleaving. If you are still subject to your parents and you won't let, you are a mama's boy or papa's daughter, and then you spend your life just not living and cleaving to your partner, you won't have a good marriage. Look at the law of fidelity, loyalty and faithfulness. Look at the law of protection and support. See the law of love and go harmonization. These are laws governing good marriages. And so if you fail to build a good marriage, you need to respect this law. How about the laws of money? Work is a law of money. Savings, just keeping a portion of what you have is one of the laws. A lot of people don't have savings in this part of the world. And then, or if you want to talk about how they save, they spend what they have and save what is left. But the rule of saving is you save first and spend what is left. But we don't know that. We don't know that. Part of the laws of money is investment. If you save the money, at the end of the year, they give you, let's say, 12 or 13%. And 13% of what you have saved is just very tiny if you've not stolen money to keep in that account. So you need to look for what works and work them and get into some portfolio, make investment in real estate, get into some cooperative and make some good investment. Then we talk about rendering service. That is one of the laws of money. You have to render services. Without goods and services, you are not going to be able to have any opportunity you have to make money. And then giving. Another laws of money is giving. You cannot just swallow everything that you have and hope that people will also respond to you. The Bible says a man's gift will make a room for him. Some of the things you give to help some other people will propel them to be located somewhere in the future to help you. I know some people that have come to my aid. I remember when we were moving into this city, and my wife, was transferring her service from the government of Niger State to FCT, and there was a young man that was very helpful. He said, "Oh, you came from Niger State, I'll help you, that's my state." So she said to me, "Please, I want you to come and thank this man for me. He has been so helpful." So I got there, and I saw him. I said, "Is that the man?" He said, "Yes." So he came to me, "Oh, God, I'm so glad to meet your wife." I said, "Thank you for your help." And I said, "By the way, is your name so-and-so?" He said, "Yes, sir." "Did you go to so-and-so secondary school?" He said, "Yes, sir." "Did you remember your economics and commerce teacher?" He said, I said, "Think again." I said, "Look at the face that is talking to you." He just went down to the floor. He said, "Oh, Malam, thank you so much. I remember you were teaching us. You gave us everything. You gave us gifts. You motivated us to study. I never knew I was going to help my teacher." So what I did for the young man to ensure that he came out excellently well, he came out helping my wife. So giving is a form of, making investment for the future. The next thing you need to understand about the laws of nature is that although principles are spiritual, their purpose is to manage the material world. Without these laws, that is these principles, the world will become chaotic. Imagine a world without gravity or the law of exchange. Then everybody goes in. That is what is wrong with looting. There's a little crisis or people are protesting. Then you go to the bank, you start looting the ATM. You go to places, you start looting. All of these people. That man came all the way from a state and he's labored over the years to accumulate the little he's there. Then you go to loot it in the name of protesting. He was not the person that is, he's not responsible for not giving you good roads. He's not the guy in the government house. He's not the one making laws and does not even know the people he's making laws for. And then we attack the wrong people. Some years ago, I took a friend of mine and I said, we need to travel to, somewhere. So we went out of town and then we went by the way of, Karu, Yaya, access to Massacre and all that. And he saw traffic gridlock from AYA all through to the ultramodern international market in Maraba, close to Waman village. And he called me and said, "Pastor, what is going on? Is there a riot? Is there a crisis in town?" I said, "No." He said, "These people, where are they going?" I lived in Lagos before. I've never seen this kind of thing before. I've not seen this kind of thing before. Where are they going? I said, they are going to the city. He said, who are they? From where? I said, these are the people you were making law for, and you did not even know they existed. You making law for them. You've never seen them. He said, could that be the problem with my orderly? Every day he tells me he leaves his house by 6 o'clock and I don't get to see him till 8 o'clock. I said, you're very stupid. You didn't come on time. And he said, Oga, it is not my fault. I left my home before 6. He said, so that's what he was going through. For the first time he was seeing that. And so that's the thing here. That unless you understand how these laws work, we will live in a world without control, a chaotic world. Imagine a world without gravity. All the cars will be flying. Your electric, appliances will fly. Everything will just be chaotic and you won't be able to rest. You'll be flying all over. You'll be floating everywhere. So God had to set up these principles. He had to set up the law of asking so you don't go to somebody's shop and start to steal his property. That's why he set up the law of asking. You must earn that thing before he will release his goods to you. You must render a certain service to him. The laws of nature help maintain orderliness. Without these laws to govern our conduct and our societies, people will consistently violate the right and lives of others. Is that not what is going on now? Look at a lawless society, like ours. Not because that we don't have laws, but people just do their things with impunity. One man from one village comes in and then he carries a Corget and then they start blowing siren. In a city where we have a sitting president, every DG has siren, every minister has siren, every governor comes in with siren, and then we don't even know who is who, and the nonsense in our cities. Because it's so lawless. Lawmakers are lawbreakers. They don't stop by traffic light. They're above the law. We had a debate a couple of years ago somewhere, outside this country. I think that was in Switzerland. And a man who happened to be a Nigerian but had been outside the country and married to a Swiss lady for 25 years. Said, oh, Nigeria, they are very class people, they are Swiss, and this and that. And then the driver was speaking, and a Swiss man was also, joining the conversation. And they're corrupt, they're doing this. And I said, first of all, I need to take you one after the other. You are a Nigerian. So no matter how you claim anything, you are a Nigerian. Why have you not ended up in jail? Why do you work with one of the most reputable banks in the world and you are even a compliance officer? I said, Nigerians have laws. Our problem is compliance. And I began to share with him, I said, in the year that the road safety announced that they were going to enforce the use of seatbelt and helmet, they did a lot of, awareness and education and all that. And in 3 months' time, they recorded 98% compliance on the first day of implementation. 98% compliance. It was on the news. They were saying, we recorded 98%. I said, now a taxi man, wherever you see them, everybody, because they know there are consequences for their actions. And therefore, everybody, I said, the problem is, if I'm stopping at the traffic light, and one lawless man comes in with his useless errand, and he blows off all, then everybody follows him, because in our nation, we reward the odd ones. We reward those who are stealing money. We reward them with CON, ONN, NNCC, and GCOF. All the criminals who have looted the nation are the ones holding, not the teachers, not the people that are helping this nation, not the young people, entrepreneurs that are developing applications and apps and turning the world around, not the people that are really changing the world, not the people that are, who did truly, not the soldiers that are fighting. It is all these criminals they give national awards to. Simply because there are no compliance. The laws are made, but made for the poor. Just a couple of days ago, a few days ago now I'm reading that a man that stole billions of pensions money is given a slap in the wrist of 8 years. And somebody stole, was it 12 or 15,000? They gave him 10 years in jail. The judiciary is corrupt. The police corrupt. Politicians corrupt. secretaries and pump said corrupt. Everybody, even the filling station, they will change the pump, corrupt. And everybody, and here they carry Bible and Quran every Friday, every Sunday. Come on, give me a break. Every creature has been imbibed with God's divine power and laden with principles of derivation and protection. That is why you cannot pray, you can't twist God. Every Olympic time we are praying and fasting, and every time it's CONCACAF or African Cup of Nations or whatever, everybody is praying, and those who are speaking in tongues because they want their team. Oh, please. God is not a footballer. He doesn't succumb to the law of happenstance and chance. You got to get to the field and play. When they asked Michael Phelps, he says it takes 4 years to prepare for one Olympic game, just 4 years. And he says in those 4 years, every day I swim at least 8 hours of the day. A quarter of the day, 1/3 of the day, this guy will swim 1/3 of the day, morning and night, for 4 years. Now, is it any surprise that he's the highest goal winner on the whole earth? And then what will my people be doing? They gather pastors, they gather prayer people, and then the other people they want to, and then the supporters club, they will be singing and they will be playing as if God is going to come down and carry the ball, and they will be singing, "Oh, the kingdom come, O Lord. Oh God, it's a miracle working God." God doesn't work miracle on football pitch. He works it in your practice. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes improvement. So go get on the field and do the necessary things. Every time that you do this thing, and you hear the people from football house say, "Oh, I nearly cried. I wept my heart out because Nigeria could not qualify." Shut up. They gave the people money, you stole the money, and all of you are just there messing up this nation. And you're not ashamed. You keep traveling abroad and you go on roads that you travel for 4 days, 3 days on the road, and there's not a single pothole. And you come here, you can't replicate the same thing. Shame on all of you in government. Shame on all of you. Because those people there are not necessarily, they don't go to Mecca, they don't go to Jerusalem. They are just people who put the law of nature into practice. They prefer good names than silver and gold. They prefer good names than riches and gold. They prefer good names. They want their generations to be remembered. Laws give us directions. Thanks to these laws, we know what to do and when to do it, and how, and the expected outcome. We know what it's going to be. I know that if I sit down, then I'm not going to fall down. I know if I don't climb up to the staircase, I'm not going to fall down because I'm respecting the laws of nature. Thanks to these laws, I know what to expect. They have the ability, they have the capability to protect observers of these laws and punish violators. And that is why many of those who have stolen this money, I've seen in this nation a lot of people who have stolen so much money and they don't live long enough to enjoy it. They just die foolish deaths. They are powerless to defend violators from experiencing the weight of their consequences. That's the thing. Laws are powerless. Laws are powerless. They cannot defend violators if they choose to violate those things. Many of us, especially in this nation, I keep saying it, we're serial violators of divine protocols. And when you violate divine protocols, you get punished. You know, and it's quick, you know, in this world, what do they say here? God punish you. They say, God is punishing that man. God is not punishing anybody because of anything. He has already put the laws there. The laws of sowing and reaping. So if you violate those laws, it is the laws that have taken their toll on you. It's not God punishing you. He punished Christ so that you don't get punished again. So just receive Christ and you are free from the punishment. But if you fail to abide by the laws of nature, then you are going to get the consequences, of course. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, why this nation so and so?" A couple of years ago, I was ministering at a conference in Washington, and somebody said to me, "Well, pray for our nation. There's so much gun violence and all that." I said, "Why are you not going to have gun violence?" I said, "The president of our country, that is before this current administration, that had the good will of other nations, they have all the opportunities to buy helicopter, buy this, buy war machine, buy everything, and they are collaborating with Boko Haram and the bandits. They're tacitly supporting, the government of the day is supporting the bandits. They would look away. And I hear the president of my country going to other nations and telling them, we are ready to support you and we are ready to help you conquer your war. And I said to him, all the thousands, the same day, 70-something people were killed in Kaduna. He flew somewhere else to promise support to them. What hypocrisy is all this in governance? And I was talking to these people and they said, well, our nation, and I said, our president in the previous administration came to this place and met with the president and they wanted to sign a contract saying that they want to buy ammunition. You people denying us ammunition. But your weapons found a way into the hands of Boko Haram and they are killing our people. Don't you know there is law of sowing and reaping? Don't you know your children will pay for the sins of killing innocent people in their places of worship? Don't you know that Nigerian blood is also crying? It's not God doing it. It is all of you coming on the laws of nature. And many of you in governance today, I'm prophesying to you, if you don't change your ways, it will not be long. It will cut off you. You are busy stealing money for 2023. Okay, let's watch and see whether many of you will last till that time. We are here. We are watching. When are you going to last? Not because we are going to plot against you, but because the laws of nature will take toll on you. He's going to take his toll on you. You are a serial violator of divine protocol. And if you continue to violate and steal the money meant for the population, the God of heaven will make sure that the laws that he has put in place is active. And let me tell you this, if you don't return those money to, it will be retroactively visited on you. And that is why you see many of you send your children abroad and they are just there on drugs. You stole all the money, you started all the business, and everything has collapsed. And I can tell you this, some former governors right now, they sell land, they can't even raise 10 million by themselves. They're bringing up people selling land and using front to sell land because when you came by money you did not work for, you stolen the people's money, you never invested into people's lives, then you're going to deal with the consequences of it. Because these are political jobbers who all their lives is, if they are not stealing public money from public coffers, then they cannot accomplish anything. They aid your free will. The laws of nature aids your free will to choose which side of the divide you will be. Either synchronize your life with them and be blessed, or remain a serial violator and be punished. That is God's idea. You either align your life with the laws of nature and you get blessed. You have it. Or you become a serial violator. Because every money you make that is not legitimate, you're going to pay with it somewhere. You use the money to treat sickness. You use the money and you spend the money on women and just go with all the venereal disease and all that is out there. I just pray that this period you begin to change your mind and begin to come into alignment. Because you don't need fasting and prayer to do the right thing. You're in filling station and then you're changing the pumps. I was at a filling station at one time and I queued and I stayed because there was some scarcity. Well, this is the only nation where we export what we don't have and import what we produce. And I was there, and after a while, and the policemen were at the gate collecting bribes, and they were at the pump collecting bribes, and when finally I got in there, they said, well, we will sell only 1,500. I said, why? I've been here for 4 hours. They said, well, we don't have enough for it. And I said, policeman, you are there. You've been there, and I've been watching you collecting bribes. Look at your pocket, see everywhere. Are you not ashamed of yourself? You mean your children will come and see their father doing the work of a beggar like this? Beggarly element. Are you not ashamed? And you are now saying that they can't fill my car after I have abided by the instruction to stay on the queue for 4 hours. But shunters were all given. And I told them, I said, if Nigeria is going to be good, it begins at the filling station. It begins with those of you who are eating granules, peanuts, and banana and throwing those things out there on the road. And I say, oh, somebody is cleaning that. The government should not need to hire them to clean it if you do the right thing and stop littering the city. So these are just basic principles. And many of us are wondering why our lives are going the way it is going. It is because the laws we are violating are working against us. That is why you are never having good health. That is why nothing good is coming your way. Because you are violating serially the purpose of God for creation. You are violating the rules that He has placed here on earth. Well, our time is gone again. Join us this time, exact time next week on this same channel, and I will be here again. And I'm going to reach out to you by the grace of God. We're going to show you a lot of things that you can do to better your life, to cooperate with the laws of nature. And until that time, continue to practice kingdom principles for kingdom results. God bless you.